Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in. As always, lovely to spend time with you. Firstly, I must apologise if I sound a bit strange today. Since I came back from the Halaganza, I seem to have a bit of a naughty cold. So all I can do is apologise the way I sound. I will really try not to cough. I've got a glass of water. The Halaganza was absolutely amazing and I loved every minute, but I have found the older I get, I've got a weakened immune system anyway, and it just shatters my whole body and lets the little viruses in. So hence I've got a bit of a cold. Well, do you know what? I think it might even be man flu. Who knows? But anyway, so it's not going to stop my crafting. So bear with me. I will do my best. Now, today I wanted to come in and share some thoughts with Annie and Edward, or as our Jack thought, Ian Edwards, and that was just hilarious. You need to watch the outtakes from the Halaganza. That was just so funny. Anyway, so we've got a lovely stamp set, Annie and Edward. Now, I've used Edward here, and I'll just bring Annie in to show you. Now, what I wanted to do was think of ways that we could use them that weren't Christmas. To me, they lend themselves so much to Christmas designs, and I love, as you know, making festive designs. But, you know, these stamps, I always think it's, not just for Christmas, they're for all year. So I was thinking, what could we use them for? Now, Annie, I'm just thinking, I think you could maybe put her looking for the secret garden. We've got the lovely signpost, haven't we, that says secret garden, and she could be sneaking in at night. Or what about the Arch of Angels? She could be going through the doorway. So I'm thinking that's a bit of a challenge for you, my lovely crafty friends. Come up with a design that isn't Christmas using Annie or Edward. What is she going to look for? So when I was thinking, and I'm thinking, I went for Edward, and I just thought for me, he's gone looking into a cave and he's found the lovely flitterbats. Or flittermice. I'm doing it again. I'm sorry, Tracy. You know me. I rename everything. The flittermice. So that was my idea. But what else could he be looking for? Could he have gone out for a night walk? My grandchildren go catching Pokemon at night. They go on night walks and we always take snacks with us. I have to say I love it. I take a nice cheeky brew and some snacks. We have a lovely time. Anyway, so that's the idea. So coming up with a design that isn't Christmas. So enough talking. And also I'm very mindful of those of you that like smaller cards. So I've gone for a lovely size today, and this is the B7. Now you get 20 of these. Multifarious. And I know you'll want to know what their actual size is. Just under 5 inches by 3.5. And that fits, I've put mine on an A6 card, look. And I've just got enough room there to put one of our lovely sticker sentiments. So I'm going to start with stamping our lovely Edward. And I'm going to stamp him in black, the Versafine Clair, the Nocturne. And it's funny, you know, if your mojo's gone, sometimes it's really good to have a little challenge because it just gets your mind thinking. You know, and I was thinking, what else could I use them for? What else have I got in my stash? Where could they be walking? What could they be looking for? Right, I'm just going to hold that down because he's a silhouette, so don't lift it up too quickly. There we go. And he just stamps beautifully. I'm going to give that a blot. Versafine Clair. And the reason I'm going to give it a blot is because I don't want to smudge it because I'm going to do my stencil work next. And for this, I've used the Pebbles stencil. And I'm going to come in with Truffle. She says, I'm looking for my brush with Truffle on. That's my Truffle brush. I'll take the lid off ready. And what I want to look on here is what's lovely about this stencil. If you can see, there's almost open areas. So I want to try and get an open area to give me the edge of the design. Just roughly, so I'm thinking sort of here, if I go off this. Now, as always, I'm going to put the ink in the lid, and I'm going to start in the corners because that's where I want it the deepest. And if you look, I'm just being mindful to come up to this edge, look. And again, ink up and start in this corner, right across the top. And don't worry about fuzzying that little edge there, that's fine. I just want to add a little bit more down this side. And a bit more in that corner. Right, let's have a look. That's lovely. I love that. Look at that. If I'd have had another piece of card underneath, I could have got a frame. So that's something you could do. Pop another card underneath and just see if you get a frame. Or what about your journal page? Do it on top of your... Sorry, excuse me. On top of your journal page. So let's turn it round and see if we can get the same thing so that we've got that opening to hang our lovely flitter bats from. Flittermice. Oh dear. So I hope you're feeling well today. And you know what? If you've had this bug, I think there's a lot going round. Certainly here in the UK, we're coming into winter, and it's that time that all these sort of things appear. If you've got any magic remedies, please let me know. I'm doing the old, you know, taking the medication. I've got hot water, my slice of lemon, the honey. There we go, look. So you see we've got that lovely opening already, and I love that. I just want a little bit more colour around the edge, so we'll do that now. Now you could leave it like this. I just want to deepen those edges a little. But the good thing is you'll still be able to see that stencil work through. I love stencils, and sometimes I think we almost forget to use them. What about making a storybook? What about in your journal, having a little storybook? Annie and Edward's Adventures. There we go. Just to add that little bit of colour around the edge. So we'll just clean that up. So now again, if you don't want to waste that, you just smoosh. I'm just going to clean it up today. But you could do your lovely smooshing through there. So we'll add our lovely stamping. So I'm using the smaller of the Flittermice. There are 3. And I think we'll just have one hanging from there. And then maybe another one there. And then a second generation just over there. And again, we'll give that a bit of a blot. Now, it doesn't look very well defined, that edge. So what we can do now is come in with our pastel pencils. And I'm just going to get a black and a brown and just a biodegradable cotton bud. And just to define that edge. So if we look where we've got this lovely edge, we can decide, I think I'll take it there and then round there. And I'm just following that edge of the stencil. Just to define that edge of the cave. And as I say, this stencil is perfect for this. And then that's the black. So I'm just going to come in now with the brown as well. I like the combination of the black and the brown. Just to give me that first sort of initial, and then I'll come in and add some more black. And again, you will take your time. You will build this up slowly, and I'm just going to give that a nice smudge. Smudging does two things. It fixes the pastels, but also for me, I think it gives a much better effect. Sort of softens the edges, and you can move it. So I'm thinking we've started to get that lovely, but we want it darker here because this is sort of more the edge of our cave down here. So we'll add some more black. And then what I'm going to do is I've got a grey. I'll just sort of fuzzy a little bit of grey to give that idea we've got that fuzziness in the cave. So again, look, just smudge that and smudge it all together. That sort of eerie feeling in that cave. Spooky. Now, again, I mean, we've just had Halloween, haven't we? But you could have made this into sort of a Halloween type design. So that's the edge of the cave, and we've gone quite dark. But here where we've got the lovely lantern, so what I'm going to do is get my yellow pastel and my white. And what I'm going to do is just highlight round the lamp. And then we'll just put a few rays of the yellow. And we'll also catch the edge of our lovely Flittermice, those two. And then with the white, just going to blend that. And again, just use your finger. And we'd get a little bit of the yellow, just catching this edge, and just have fun with your pastel pencils. It's so lovely to be able to use them in conjunction with our inks, just to enhance our designs. Now we'll add a little bit of, just giving that a bit of a, I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight with the white on Edward, but also on his lamp I'm going to use my gold wink of Stella. She says, there we go. And I'm just going to add that over the top. And then I've got a lovely blue in the metallic markers for the eyes of our bats. I think they need a little bit of blue, don't they? And so there we've built up our lovely cave design. So let's just add a little bit more stamping. And I'm thinking for this, I'm going to come in with the woodland hares. And we'll stamp along the bottom first. And I'm going to use two colours, the Pinecone and the Nocturne. So we'll come in first with the Pinecone. And it's just to give it a little bit of interest at the base of the design. And again, I'm stamping this in clumps. So there's the Pinecone. And then we'll come in with the Nocturne. And that will give us depth, first and second generation. But also, as I say, if you stamp in clumps, it just looks that bit more natural. If you want to add a little bit, if you just want to ground Edward look, just a little bit of your black pastel. There we go. And that's just grounded under his feet. So a little bit of stamping at the top. And for this one, I've gone for the leaf creeper. I was thinking about sort of what would be hanging in a cave, and I thought the leaf creeper was a really good stamp for this. I can imagine walking along and it's sort of dangling in front of your face. Excuse me, I'm really sorry. And again, I'm stamping this in clumps. So in the brown, and then just clean my stamp on my copy of paper. You know, I don't know about you, but you know, if you're feeling under the weather, I do find it hard to craft because I keep dropping things and knocking things off. It is funny, isn't it? I do think it's such a funny thing that some days if you're feeling really well, everything works. Other days if you're under the weather, nothing works. So we've got our lovely bits just dangling from the cave. Now, if you wanted to put one of another lamp hanging, you could. I mean, again, you take this and let your imagination flow. Lastly, I'm just going to come in with my white pen and add a couple more highlights. Just a couple, and on the ferns. And then just round the edge here, I'm just going to get my fan brush. I'm just going to move this. And if I show you on my finished piece, look, you see how I've got a little bit of faux bleaching just in the background here. And I think it just adds to that whole effect. So fan brush in water. And then just round the edge, we'll add some little water splats. And I'm doing this at the end because I've done all my stamping and that's all impermanent. And I think it is amazing how much detail you can get on a small piece of card. So we'll give that a minute just to do a little bit of faux bleaching in the background. Then I'm just using my kitchen roll to dry it. I could use my heat tool, but I like things to dry naturally where possible. And if I show you, so you've got a little bit of faux bleach in there. And again, for me, it goes with that whole sort of cave look. So there's the one we've created today. And there's our finished design. So like I say, where are you going to take Annie and Edward? Where are they looking with their lamp? What are they looking for? Well, Edward certainly found his pipistrelle bats, I think. But was that what he was looking for? It remains to be seen. So you take care. Have a really good week. Look after yourselves. And again, just do some stamping with Annie and Edward and tell me where they're going. Create a story and tag me in, please. I'd love you to do that. You take care. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.